Welcome back to At the Van Wezel. I'm Muffy Lavens, and I am joined by Augusto Guardado, who is a performer with On Your Feet, which will be playing here March 14th and 15th. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you.
Well, we are so excited for this show. This is one that I have been so excited to see, and I cannot wait for you guys to be here on the Van Wezel stage. So tell me a little bit, how did you get started in the world of musical theater and the performing arts?
Ooh, that's a great question. So I actually started very, I guess, kind of late. Most people start as a kid, in their small little theater programs. I didn't get started until I was a sophomore in high school. I transferred schools, and this school was like a new upcoming school, and it was going to be like performing arts based. And I went because I had some sort of interest in the arts, but they were really kind of just letting a lot of students in. And I kind of started there and just fell in love with the art. And we all, we can all say we have that one drama teacher in our life, that really just supports us. And I met that drama teacher, and she's even with me still to this day. I call her my mom. And she got
Aw.
me into theater. And I remember I did shows in high school. From there, I went to do some community theater shows. And I kind of just caught the bug. And from there, just kept going and going and going. And now I'm here on a national tour. It's kind of surreal. And I'm so grateful.
That's amazing. So have you done any other national tours or Broadway productions?
No, this is my first one. And it's a dream come true, truly.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about your role in this show.
So my role in the show, I play Phil, which is the Estefan's record producer. Towards the beginning of the show, when they're trying to actually get a real hit out there and try to cross over into the English market, into the so they were on our label as a Latin band, and they really wanted to cross over into the U.S. market and sing and make music in English. But me, I told them that no Latin band would ever cross over, and this and that they should really just stick on the Latin side, and we're gonna make them a star on the Latin side. And it really took a lot of convincing for them, and a lot of the whole end of Act One is them trying to convince me to let them cross over and produce this song, and I eventually do, and that's how they become stars.
I love it. So yeah, tell me a little bit more about the story of On Your Feet and what our audience can expect to see.
So the story of On Your Feet surrounds the story of Emilio and Gloria Estefan. We see Gloria at a young age in Miami, to then her growing up, meeting Emilio, going into stardom. So it really just, and also goes into the bus crash that she did have, a big part of her
Yeah.
story and how she came back from that. So it's really powerful, and it really talks a lot about, pushing through, never giving up, but it also really focuses a lot on the community around her. I think we all obviously work really hard to work for what we want, but it also, I feel like we sometimes forget that we sometimes have a huge support system around us that really also are there with us. And I feel like the show really focuses on the community around her, her family who was truly there, always supporting her, always maybe giving her that little extra push. And
Yeah.
it's truly beautiful. And I feel like the audiences can expect to see a lot of love, a lot of Latin culture, a lot of unexpected twists and turns. And I'm really excited.
I love that. That's so great. And the musical has tons of catchy songs. I mean, anyone who knows the hits
Oh
like
yes.
Conga and The Rhythm Is Gonna Get You, and of course, Get On Your Feet.
Get on your feet.
What was
Yes.
it like, learning the choreography for this show and really embracing that
Ooh.
music?
It was incredible. As a musical theater performer, you're so used to, doing some jazz and some ballet, and then you don't really get to get down into the ground and be super grounded in like Latin salsa, all this stuff. And so to get to be in a rehearsal room full of so many other incredible Latin performers and get to do this style of dance, my mom was a dancer back in Mexico, and to do a lot of dance that she would do and kind of just be on this stage kind of representing my culture and my family and stuff like that, it was a really beautiful and kind of surreal moment for me, and I love it.
Oh, I love that. And I in my spare time when I'm not hosting shows like at the Van Wezel, I'm a Zumba instructor, so I can totally
So fun.
relate and, you know, appreciate the, you know, salsa dancing, you know, some merengue. Salsa is not my strong suit, so I love when I can see people dance amazing salsa. So I
We
cannot
got
wait
some
to see
great
how you guys.
salsa in this show.
Oh, I can't wait. I've been telling people how excited I am to see this show. There's so much to love about it. So in addition to the lively music, you kind of touched on it a little bit, there's themes of family and love. You know, what can our audience expect to get out of that aspect of the show?
I always say that a huge part of Latin culture is family and love, you know? Um, every family has its own like little headbutts, but at the very end of the day, probably one of the most important things is family. And that's really shown in this show, you know, with Gloria, you know, with her experience with her parents, you know, her dad who fought in Vietnam, you know, her mother, letting her be a star, but her abuela Consuelo being the one to really be pushing to like let her go and pursue her music, you know, with her and her sister also there. So there is so much storytelling of just like this Latin family dynamic, or just a family in general, you know, but specifically in the show, a Latin family dynamic. And it's really just interesting to see because it's really real. It's a real story. It's truly her, and Gloria Estefan herself was truly a part of creating the show. So it's a lot of truly real, raw scenes and moments, and it's great.
Lovely. I know I've said it, you know, 4 or 5 times now, but I am so excited to see this. And the more you talk about it, the more excited I'm getting. Let's see. What else would you like our audience to know about this show before they see it?
Oh, I would like them to know that when they get to this show, don't be afraid to have a great time. Don't be afraid to move a little bit in your seat. And at the end of the show, if we ask you to get on your feet and party, don't be afraid to get up and party, because truly this show at the end of the day also is just a huge party and just a huge celebration, you know, of their story, their life, the music, what they've brought to the world. And we truly just want to share all of that with you. So just have all the fun and get on your feet.
That's incredible. I love it. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. On Your Feet will be playing at the Van Wezel March 14th and 15th. You have 2 chances to see this show. We still have tickets available. So I encourage you to grab those tickets and get on your feet with us. We'll be right back with more at the Van Wezel.